Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So first, I would like to mourn the loss of the first video that I did on this, because I actually did film this already and then I promptly deleted it on accident after I'd already edited it for about 3 or 4 hours. So that was actually pretty devastating, and I had to take a day or two to get over it because I already put a lot of work into that video, and I keep telling myself that this one will be better, but I mean, the first one was totally fine. But you know, it's fine, we're gonna move on. I'm going to be showing you how to cover up tattoos. You can really do this with any type of full coverage foundation. One that I've used a lot in the past is the Kat Von D foundation. That one has a great coverage, but I wanted to try the method using the Fenty foundation that I'm sure we've all heard of by now. I wanted to try it because of the texture of it. I feel like it feels very natural on the skin while still having a full coverage, so I think that would be great for tattoo cover-up. I wish I could say this was the first time I was trying this and I didn't know what was going to happen, but since I've already tried this once, I do know what will happen, and I guess you're just going to have to find out. Basically, I'm just going to be showing you the technique to cover up the tattoo. So if you are someone that needs to cover up a tattoo for a special event, or maybe you need to cover it up for a job or something like that, I'm going to be showing you how to do that. So if you need to know how to cover up that tattoo, then please keep watching. So you can color correct over tattoos first if you want to really get a neutral palette to begin with. In my opinion, if you're using a good full coverage product, then generally you don't really need to do the whole color correcting process. But if you are wanting to do that, you basically just want to use complementary colors to whatever the tattoo is. So if you're covering this tattoo here on this more red tone, you want to use something more green. On the more green tone, you want to use something more red. If it's more purple, you want to use something more yellow, and vice versa, and so on. So that is something you can do using a color correcting palette, or even a colored eyeliner, or a lipstick, or something like that. But again, I think that that is just an extra step that you don't really need to take if you're using a really good full coverage product. So I have a blemish right here, and so I just turned it into a beauty mark. Can you tell? I just need to stop jacking with my makeup and get back to what we're doing. We are going to begin with just applying a layer of our foundation. So again, if you're using a different product, you can still use the same technique. It's super simple, but for someone that isn't really into the makeup world and just isn't into makeup in general, this can be a little confusing. So I wanted to kind of have a place to guide my clients so that they can kind of have a little reminder of these steps and the process, because I do quite a few tattoo cover-ups on clients, I'd say every month. So yeah, I want to have a place to guide them so that you can remember how to do it, even though it is very simple. So I'm going to take my foundation and apply it on my hand. I'm just going to pump quite a few pumps on there. I did about 4, because you're really just going to have to go in with this. So I'm just going to take my beauty blender and start applying this. And don't be scared, because you're gonna have to apply quite a bit. And no matter what product you're using, generally you're gonna wanna do about 3 layers of liquid and 3 layers of powder to really get a solid coverage. And if you are covering a tattoo, you're not going to be able to cover just the area where the tattoo is. So say I have a tattoo, like a small tattoo on my neck, you're not going to be able to usually just cover the tattoo. You really need to cover the surrounding area as well. However, you don't need to cover the whole area with 3 layers. You can cover the tattoo with 3 layers and then cover, say, your neck and your chest with just 1 layer. Because you really just want it to be able to blend. Because you're going to be able to tell if you have this really airbrushed perfect patch of skin and then the rest of your normal skin. So you really want to blend it in with at least 1 layer. Okay, so we have our first layer of liquid on, and what I like about this foundation is I can already see that it's drying. So I think that's just going to help it to stay on better. If you're going to a special event, it's going to help it to really just stay on nicely. So next we're going to do a layer of powder. I'm going to use just an all-over powder brush. And I'm going to be using the Kat Von D setting powder. This one's nice because there is a lot in here. So a little will go a long way and the container should last you a while. And I'm really just saturating my brush with powder. And you want to use pressing motions. That's going to make sure that your coverage stays really nice and full. If you do swiping motions, you might swipe off some of the product. So pressing will always give you a bit of a better coverage. So now we have 1 layer of our powder. We're going to go ahead and go and do our next layer of the liquid. And I always knew that I wanted to do a tattoo cover-up video when I first decided I wanted to try doing videos, because I definitely think it is something that's requested a lot. And like I said, a lot of people that need to cover up tattoos, they'll come in and it's one of the first times they've ever really bought makeup. So altogether, when you buy all of the supplies for this, you usually are spending about $100, if not more. So I definitely wanted to create a video so that when you're spending that $100+ you go home and you can make sure that you can replicate it just as well, because no one wants to waste $100+. Okay, so I'm gonna go and do my next layer of powder. Okay, and then we're gonna do probably just 1 more layer of the liquid, and I think we should be pretty covered. And now, so my tattoo here, it is a bit raised. That is something that can happen with tattoos sometimes. Maybe if you're tattooed too deep or something like that. So unfortunately, that's not something you can cover with makeup. But Usually you can only see that if you're really close, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Yeah, I really wanted to try this with the Fenty foundation because I know I'm a little late to the game with the Fenty video, but I actually did film a Fenty video the day of the launch, but I didn't like the video. It was the second video I filmed one before that I also didn't like and didn't post. But yeah, and I feel like by the time I was ready to even edit it, there was already so many Fenty videos online. So I mean, if you want to see the foundation in action on the face and the highlighter and all that, I mean, there's already so many beautiful videos out there. So I really wanted to kind of put this foundation to the test and try it for basically the most intense covering that you would need to do. And I'm just taking a 4th layer and just getting these really dark areas, like on my collarbone. Covered, I'm going to add a little bit of highlight, and I of course am going to use the Fenty Beauty highlight. This is the Kilowatt highlighter in Mean Money and Hustler Baby. So this highlighter has more of a kind of sheen side and then more of a really shimmery side. So I'm of course going to use the really shimmery side, which is Hustler Baby, with my highlighting brush from Urban Decay. And again, I'm just tapping this on because I don't want to remove any of that coverage. And I think this is a good step if you're covering an area like this, because it adds a little bit of life back into the skin. And in a way, I kind of look like plastic, and I'm totally down with that. And then lastly, again, if you're going to a special event and you want to kind of make your skin look more lifelike, you can do just a hair of contouring. I'm going to take my Morphe M143 fan brush with this more cool tone in my Sephora collection contour palette, and just do a tiny bit underneath my collarbone. And then in my neck right here, where I already have those natural shadows, just a hair. Okay, and then lastly, if you are going somewhere special and you need this to last for a while, I would suggest setting it with a mattifying setting spray. Boscia makes a really good one with white charcoal in it, so it's very mattifying. Or of course you could always use the tried and true Urban Decay De-Slick spray to kind of just finish this off and make it last all night. I think it's definitely safe to say that the Fenty foundation passed the test of the ultimate coverage. If you can cover tattoos that have black and red and green and every color with just a foundation and a powder, then I think it's safe to say that you will get a fantastic coverage on your face. If you are looking for a fantastic full coverage foundation, I would definitely suggest this one. I've of course worn it on my face as well, and it feels extremely lightweight, but looks very full coverage and flawless. And I am a bit more dry skin. Okay, so I'm a lot more dry skin, and as long as I apply my normal hydrating primer underneath and my moisturizers and my great skincare, it will wear nicely throughout the day and not dry me out. So even if you're a dry skin, I would definitely give it a try. Just make sure to use your hydrating products underneath. And that's it, guys. This is how you do tattoo cover up. Again, just make sure when you're covering a tattoo, whether it's on your arm or your leg or whatever part of your body, to cover the tattoo, of course, but also cover the surrounding area with at least a thin layer of the product so that it all just blends seamlessly, and you can't tell that there is makeup on the tattoo. But generally, just layering liquid and powder about 3 or 4 times should give you a nice coverage if you're using a good full coverage foundation. If you are one of my clients watching this and we didn't use the Fenty foundation on you, don't worry. You can do the same technique with your Kat Von D or whatever other full coverage foundation you desire. So don't worry, you got this, it's easy. So if you have any questions about this technique, please let me know. I'm happy to answer. And I think that that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any suggestions on my next video, please let me know, because I'm always looking for suggestions on the next thing to do. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye. Smell like tacos.
Come here.
Okay, okay, okay.